Yo, what's good guys? It's Chris here, and today I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel called Hero Mastery, on which where I talk about, in my opinion, the best tips and tricks for each hero in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So for this video specifically, I'm going to strictly be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi and teach you guys the best ways to use him in both Trooper and Hero game modes. Now keep in mind throughout this video, if you have your own opinion on this character and you want to use him in a different way, feel free to do that, just because this is my own opinion. So if it doesn't help you, always feel free to use it in your own way. So for Obi-Wan, you're basically going to want to realize that you're probably the best defensive lightsaber character in the game, with high defensive capabilities and a high stamina bar. He works very well in both Trooper and Hero game modes because he can just soak up any incoming blaster fire and lightsaber attacks because of his high stamina output. He has a standard push where he can basically charge it up to maximize range and damage, unlike Luke's where it's just a normal push. He has a mind trick that I think is better than Rey's, which stops your enemy's abilities from using them for a short amount of time, which can give you the advantage in some situations. He also has a ability called Defensive Rush, which basically is probably the best thing to use in Trooper game modes, because what it does basically that he can charge at you, blocking your shots and killing you at the same time. So for star cards, I think I'd recommend Jedi Resilience and these are hero star cards, just to keep in mind. So Jedi Resilience, basically what it does is that it just gives you extra health regen, perfect defense, which basically when you get hit with a lightsaber while blocking any lightsaber attacks, it'll reduce less stamina for you, so you can constantly keep going. And also I'd recommend Think It Over, just because what it does is when you hit somebody with a mind trick, it'll affect them for a longer amount of time, so that you can get the advantage with your teammates. So for Trooper game modes, the star cards I definitely run once again is Jedi Resilience. Always a good health star card. A lot of health star cards on heroes are probably the best to run in both. Safeguard, which what it does is basically when you block 5 blaster shots or 2 lightsaber attacks at a time, it'll give you a 2% stamina reduction. So what that means is that basically you can constantly keep moving throughout the map while having your we're having your stamina and keep blocking. So it's always good to just keep soaking up that stamina because of Obi-Wan's obviously defensive and stamina capabilities. And also, for last but not least, I recommend Forward, which what it does is that not every trooper in Trooper game modes has the specific amount of health to die in one shot from Defensive Rush. So what Forward does basically increase the damage when you hit a trooper. So most likely you're killing even higher level troopers, or higher health troopers for that matter, in one shot. So you don't have to worry about, just keep running around them. So in Trooper game modes, Obi-Wan does best at range and up close, because even in Hero game modes, both at range and up close, he just shines because of his stamina. If he didn't have that much stamina, he wouldn't be that good. So obviously he does good at a lot of choke points on certain trooper maps, such as Naboo and a lot of the Star Destroyer maps. A lot of inside and outside maps, both not that bad, but I think I'd recommend Obi-Wan more on inside maps, just so that he can close off those choke points very well. And also during hero game modes, you're gonna obviously, for every character that I do on this list, you're obviously always gonna want a competent team, because Obi-Wan isn't that character to basically rush the Vader that has 1,000 health and he just chokes you. You're not really gonna win that battle if you're facing a competent Vader, because of Vader's high damage output. So what you want to do is basically be a stamina sponge for your team. Block all the lightsaber attacks, block all the blaster attacks, and let your team move forward. You should be on the front line because of your stamina capabilities. And for Obi-Wan, it's no different, because he's not always going to be the one rushing. You always want your team. You got to rely on your team all the time. And not even just with Obi-Wan, with any character for that matter. Pick your fights when you can. But pick smart fights is what I'd say. But if not, let that Anakin, let that Han, let that Yoda just go in for you. And hey, if they need help, go for it. Go for the lightsaber attacks. Obi-Wan's no pussy when it comes to that, I'll tell you that. So obviously always keep in mind that you got to use your abilities to your advantage, and your dashes. The dashes are very important as well. And one more thing before I end this video is that this video is not made for players who are starting out with the game. This is for more players who are a bit familiar with the game and want to try out a new character, because players who start the game are kind of, you know, no offense, but clueless of what they need to do and how to be a good character. So play the game a little bit and then come to this video if you want to check out how to improve on that character. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and follow my Twitch and my Twitter down below. On Twitch, I like to record a lot of games. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Links in the description. Peace.
And the heroes begin the slaughter.